we've been working on an 8-step mission planning process in the evangelism and growth team. And the reason for that was a sense that, well, the Methodist Church is committed to mission planning. And for the last few years, Conference has been encouraging every church to have a mission plan. There was a sense that, well, what do we actually mean by mission planning? What makes a good mission plan? How do we go about it? So this 8-step process has been pulled together as like a shared understanding of mission planning. Some of it may seem really obvious to you, and that's great, but some aspects might be new. So here's an overview of the process, and I'll just briefly talk you through the 8 steps. So step 1, decide on a process. Plan a series of meetings of your church council, your circuit leadership team, perhaps your congregation or congregations. Whether you're writing a circuit mission plan or a church mission plan, obviously that will depend in terms of who you involve in that conversation. So plan a series of meetings, decide how you're going to conduct them, and give plenty of time for people to consider and to pray together. Step 2, do a community audit. Find out as much as you can about the people who live near your church or churches. What are their joys and struggles? What is God saying to you through your community? And you may well know that the Church of England has been promoting community audit as an important part of mission action planning for some years now. And we think this is really important. And we'll think more about community audit a bit later on. Step 3, conduct a church review. What does your church or circuit have to offer? Consider your gifts, skills and passions, your staffing, volunteer time available to you, money and property. What is God saying to you through the resources that you've been given? Step 4, dream together. And the idea of putting this in as a separate step is to get across the idea that while it's really important to think about what we've done in the past and where we are now, it's also important to dream about the future, to think about possibilities that we haven't tried yet. So spend some time listening to each other's hopes and dreams. What do you want your church and community to be like in the future? What is God saying to you through each other? Step 5, I believe, is going to be particularly important for all of us as we recover from lockdown. Decide what dreams are for now and set the others aside for later. 2 or 3 priorities per year is plenty. And it could be post-COVID with less money, less staff time, less volunteer time. Maybe we can just have 1 priority this year. I think that's fine. Mission planning isn't about doing more things. It's about being really clear about why we're doing the things that we are doing a few things well. Step 6, identify actions, decide what you will need to do, who will do it and when. I'm sure we all know that putting names and dates against actions makes it much more likely that they'll get done. Step 7, consider the fruit. What difference do you want to make because of the actions that you identified at step 6? What might fruitfulness look like? And doing step 7 well makes step 8 much easier, because step 8 is set a date for a review. And the reason for this is that we believe a really useful mission plan is not something that we write in 1 year or 1 month and then put on the shelf. It's something we come back to again and again. And it's easier to review our activities if we know what fruitfulness looks like, because then we'll be able to say this activity has been fruitful, that one not so much. And then we can ask ourselves, do we need to tweak it and carry on? Or is this something we need to stop doing to make room for other things? So that's a brief introduction to the 8-step mission planning process.